He, Sri Ramakrishna's advent, as you compare with the other incarnations of the, we have seen so many incarnations. Sri Ramakrishna's incarnation has got some uniqueness. For example, Buddha himself, he became the prophet and he became the incarnation and he started preaching and he found out the nirvana or whatever the innermost, the essence of the human existence. And he projected himself and he taught the people. Similarly, Krishna is there, Rama. So like that we have got incarnations coming up. So they have given their own. Rama, we think that he is the Parabrahma himself. And Bhagavata says Sri Krishna is the Swayam Bhagavan. But here Sri Ramakrishna, he never told that I am Bhagavan himself. Or he never told that I am the Bhagavan, you worship me. But he always completely surrendered to the Divine Mother. He worshipped Divine Mother. He began his sadhana as a mama, simply telling, simple way of practicing, that simply telling mama, that is the mantra. And he took the mother, Divine Mother as the primordial energy, and she is the supreme, and mother is only everything. So in Sri Ramakrishna's life we see, he nothing but mother he says. Every time he says mother only does everything. Shakali Tumaricha. So that in this incarnation you can see how Sri Ramakrishna projected the Divine Mother. And he could have easily proved, or many Pandits, many scholars, and even the our Girish Chandra Ghosh and some other well-noted people, they started writing him as the incarnation. They told us he is the incarnation. But he asked, why, what you are writing? He once calls to Girish Chandra Ghosh, you are writing so many things in the paper, what is the use of writing? That means even though they proved that he is the incarnation himself by the test of the Bhairav Brahmani and all other things, you see that he was proved that he was incarnation. But he never projected as incarnation. He said, I am only the child of the Divine Mother. And he always put forth that Divine Mother or the motherhood. And that's why when Sri Ramakrishna asked Sharada Devi, so that you are the Divine Mother, the Saraswati incarnation. But she says, no, I am not. And she never proved. And later he tells that you have to do so many things. So everything responsibility on you. When Sri Ramakrishna tells to Holy Mother Sharada Devi, she says that I am the woman, what can I do? No, you have to do so many things, lot of things. And because of that only you have come. So you are my Shakti, like that he tells to Sharada Devi. So that we see. Then later on we see how Sharada Devi worked after Sri Ramakrishna's Mahasamadhi. Sharada Devi only formulated the whole organization and set up the motion. So that means Sri Ramakrishna's teachings, he always used to tell Matru Bhav, Shuddha Bhav, he used to tell. So that is how it was needed, and this especially in Kali Yuga, the human being having always is body consciousness. So Sri Ramakrishna tells, so why only Naradi Bhakti is needed? He tells because in the modern age, in Kali Yuga, the human being is always body consciousness. So and he is always thinking of eating and enjoying. So that's why for him yogas and all not required. This Narada Bhakti is needed. That's why he projected that Matru Bhav, Shuddha Bhav. And Holy Mother, she says, he has left me behind to prove the motherhood of God. So she proved that motherhood of God, how mother can protect and mother only is needed like that. So that in that discussion, Sri Ramakrishna always used to tell that mother, what we tell in the Vedanta, Brahman, or the, who is the supreme existence, supreme Lord or supreme energy. So that Sri Ramakrishna called as Kali. That's why as we describe the Srishti Sthiti Laya of the, this is the process of Srishti, this is the process of the whole, the supreme energy. So that process he names it as Kali. So he says Nitya Kali, Shmashan Kali, and another one is there, Shama Kali. The three, the Sriti Sthiti life. So same we in the Vedanta we call it as Brahman. Brahman only does Sriti Sthiti life. Similarly here he tells that Kali does everything. So how we can see in this his own whole thing is completely centered around Mother, Divine Mother. And this present situation or present society is very much needed, as you see. So the whole society, whole world is completely forgetting that what the goal of human life, what one has to do, so what one has to achieve, so that we forget. And we think that only whatever earning money and getting some food and shelter, everything is enough. That's why when Ram Kumar told him, his elder brother told him to study, he says, no, I don't want this education, which will give only the bread and butter. So this education I don't want. So, but in the modern situation, society will see we are only running after the material things, and we want to get degrees and also get money, more and more money. But we never think of how we have to mind our purpose of life. So Sri Ramakrishna wanted that. That's why he rejected that education, which will give only the 3 hours. That is writing, reading, and arithmetic. So this knowledge I don't want. I want only that Atma Vidya. That we get in the Upanishads also. So simple story, Nachiketa, the story in the Upanishad, they explain that he wanted only the Atma Vidya, nothing but Atma Vidya. And Nachiketa. Like that, Sri Ramakrishna also says, I want that Vidya which will give me the complete solace, satisfaction. And in the Upanishad Mundaka, it tells that, sir, you teach me that knowledge by which I can know everything. That knowledge only is Atma Vidya, like that Guru says. So that Sri Ramakrishna put it in a simple way, that the mother, you take up hold on the mother, and you always propitiate her. By that you will be able to get all things. So that he showed also in his own life, he proved. So that motherhoodness, when you catch hold or if you practice, it is easy to practice. And even in the Upanishads, and even Swamiji also gives more importance to the mother. And Swami Sharadanandaji has written on a small book, Shakti Puja, mother worship in India. What is it? From the ancient ages it has come, that how the mother is worshipped and held at highest position. That's why in the Upanishad also it is told, Yatra Naryantu Pujyante Tatra Devata. Wherever the women are worshipped, there all the gods and goddesses are there. So that idea Sri Ramakrishna, he stressed more in this age. And as we know, it is very correct, because the tendency of a human being, especially in our present situation, we observe that. That's why by that both men and women, both will be elevating themselves. They will be reaching to the highest pinnacle of the human existence. So that only Sri Ramakrishna tells, hold on to the mother worship. And when Totapuri told him that I want to teach you the Advaita Vedanta, so why can't you learn? Then he says, you know that story, that he goes to the Bhavatani temple, and the mother, he tells that he has come on Totapuri like that, so can I learn from him the Advaita Vedanta? Advaita Vedanta is the highest practice which one can reach the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So that is the highest practice. So that then Divine Mother answers that, yes, I have brought him for that only, you learn. How this simple conversation, it was you wonderstruck by seeing that the Totapuri, when he saw that he is going to the image and asking that you give me the permission. So he thought that that is how the mother worship. My mother is only a stone image, and she will not talk or she cannot answer. Why this fellow is going asking? That is his contention. But he says that my mother is the Brahmamai, Anandamayi, she is not Mrinmayi, she is the Satchidananda Swarup. And she is always, she can answer your answers, questions. Like that he comes and tells. Then afterwards also that did not enter his mind at all. Even telling that my mother is Mrinmayi, not Mrinmayi, she is Chinmayi. When he tells also that Totapuri is not unable to understand or could not grasp that power, what is the significance of that. Then anyhow, he said, all right, anyhow, whatever you got, now you are ready to learn, you'll learn it, he tells. Then he learns, and he was surprised Sri Ramakrishna could pick up within 3 days that whole practice, which he did for 40 years. Then it was going on, he was supposed to stay only few days in a place, but here he stayed more than a year. And he was very much, even he could understand, learn from him so many things which he could not, himself cannot practice. So that he acknowledged that I learned many things from you. Like. Then, but still, even after so many days of staying and practice, still he was not having the firm faith on the mother, Divine Mother. And he was not accepting mother. Then later, when he was staying on like that, so one incident also you might have read, you know also. So he gets a severe stomach ache, and he could not bear. Then he goes to the river and he wanted to drown himself in the Ganga. But wherever he walks in the river, the water is just below his stomach, his lower. He could not drink or could not drown himself. Then he is still, the pain is increasing. Then he asked Mother Sri Ramakrishna that what is this, I am having so much pain. Then Sri Ramakrishna tells him, because you are not accepting my mother, that's why you are having this. If you say that mother is everything and mother will protect, if you believe that, then your thing will go. Then he has to approve that. When he approved, then only his pain started. So this is how the simple thing Sri Ramakrishna given us, very simple way. You do not have to go for any further yoga or yogic practice or any ritualistic worship or any study of the Vedas and Upanishads, nothing. Simply Mama, otherwise call your name of your Ishta Devata. So by simply calling, if you completely have faith in that, you must have a firm conviction that certainly Mother will protect or God will protect, and if I suddenly completely surrender to Him, so everything will be all right. So that conviction, my feet is there. If that you tell, whatever you want to tell, you can tell to God. That's why Holy Mother, simple incident is there. When Udbodhan, once she was staying with her disciples, and one day afternoon she used to offer and take every day. She will never used to take without offering. So when she offered, one day she could not do that. She was busy or something. She told to the disciple, today you go and offer. Then that lady, she says, no, I don't know any mantra and I don't know any process, how to worship, how to offer the food. Then she says, why you want to worry about it? If you are in the home and if your kith and kins are there, when you have to feed them, will you need any mantra for that? You just say that, please come, sit here and take food like that. That much will do. And by that God will be pleased. Then mother, when she tells that, the lady goes and offers like that. Please come and take the offering. So like that simple way, there is no mantra, there is nothing of any ritual, no other formalities. So that how the simple, and also mother has showed many times also in her life. She has shown that once when Sri Ramakrishna passed away, and she takes the Sri Ramakrishna's photo with her. Whatever read in the life, it is there. So she goes to Puri Jagannath and takes that photo, Sri Ramakrishna's photo, and shows to Jagannath Puri. That tells to Sri Ramakrishna that you could not come in your lifetime and you could not have the darshan of Puri Jagannath. At least now you take that. She folds the photo in front of the, and how in a simple way, and there is no other things how she could talk with Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was living with her. And even another one incident is that you might have read also, that when she was traveling, she traveled after some pilgrimages. When she was traveling in a train, then Sri Ramakrishna appears that her mother was keeping her hand outside the window. So Sri Ramakrishna appears there. Then he tells that you don't keep the hand outside, it may get cut. So keep inside like that. Sri Ramakrishna appears there and tells her. So it may be, sometimes we think that how it is possible, how it is a person who has passed away can appear and tell. But this is the experience and of many people. And even now also, even today also, if you are fully having the conviction that it is mother or the Sri Ramakrishna or Swami Vivekananda can always guide us and they will protect us. If you have got that, you must have inner conviction, simple conviction that I certainly it will protect. With that you go ahead with that. You will have the experience. You can experience yourself. You will not have to wait for anybody's recommendation or anybody's telling. So that Sri Ramakrishna, when she told her, she removes the hand and she gives. And many incidents are like that in Holy Mother's life. So as you know, when Sri Ramakrishna attended the Mahasamadhi, at that time itself, as per the society's norms, so she has to remove her all ornaments and things like that. And she has to live just like a widow. But Sri Ramakrishna appears and where I have gone, he tells that I have not gone anywhere, I am with you. I am only gone from this room to another room. So why you remove all those? So he forbids. Then he asks her to continue her usual life. And when, like that, when Sri Ramakrishna appear, while guiding her always everything. And even some of the devotees, those who have full faith and conviction, they have experience also. Even simple thing, one old lady, so she was having, it has happened, especially in Bombay Ashram, Holy Mother's temple. There one devotee used to come from Shantaguru, a Gujarati lady. She was having an ulcer, and she thought that Holy Mother will certainly cure me. And she used to come early morning. She will come and sit there in front of the statue and go on telling, that's all. And till 12 o'clock she will not eat, till 12 o'clock. Then 12 o'clock when temple closes, she will come down and sit, and the steps are there. She will not go home. She will sit there and she used to worship and just think. Then again when 4 o'clock the temple opens, she will go and sit. Up to 9 o'clock, a few days she sat. Afterwards she got that cured. So she explained to people also. By that some of our devotees also started doing that. So that is one simple example. And one college student, he was just seeing, one day came across, he is not knowing anything about. He has only heard that Sri Ramakrishna and Sharada Devi and Swami Vivekananda like that, and ashram like that. But he never knew that. So that boy, he told that he got some photos, some mother's photo he got. And he just simply kept on his study table. He didn't do anything. And he simply go on looking at her photo. And he says that by looking at her photo, he got that mind getting something inspired, mind getting purified. He was feeling that. So he would simply sit and go on seeing that photo. That's all. And even Holy Mother later on she says, so even if you go and sit in front of Sri Ramakrishna's photo and go on seeing him, you don't have to do any japa, prayer, meditation. By that also you will be able to achieve, like that Sri Ramakrishna, Mother tells in later place. And these are some of the ideas where we get in the Sri Ramakrishna's life. And Sri Ramakrishna made the spiritual practice very simple, so that everybody, ordinary person, can practice. So Sri Ramakrishna tells one simple incident. He tells one boy was there. So he wrote a letter to Bhagavan. That one letter he wrote. So what is the address? The boy, whatever he likes, he thought he wrote in that letter. And Sri Ramakrishna tells this one. In the Kathamrita it is there. And that boy wrote the address, God's name. He wrote name of God and heaven. That is the address. And put the letter in the post box. But it is only that his own his conviction it is that it will certainly reach to God like that. So that type of simple incidents in the life Sri Ramakrishna tells. But we have got so many Puranas which explain this type of incidents. So there are many lives of saints you can read. Many, even some of the great saints, those who are past and present also. So you will get that how they got simple by conviction. So they will get the grace or the support or protection. So it is always there. So only thing is our duty is to just to always remember him. That's why Sri Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, that 18th chapter, Chetasa Sarva Karmani. That's why he tells that Chetasa Sarva Karmani Mai Sannasya Matpara. He tells that you Chetasa, with full of your consciousness, you do all the activities and surrender to me. Then if you surrender to me, Buddhi Yogam Upasita, he tells, you must have that at the same time. While surrendering, you should not become just a dullard or just a mechanical way. There is not a way of mechanical way. That's why Chetasa, one word he has used. Then another word he has used, Buddhi Yoga. The Buddhi, the discrimination power or thinking power, what is given to a human being, that must be utilized. So then he tells that you, Matchitta Satatam Bhava, Buddhi Yogam Upasitya, Matchitta Satatam Bhava. Tells that you always think of me and remember, repeat my name. Then by that you will be able to free. So that is how they say a simple name. That Sri Ramakrishna has given three things that three things are, the one is the Nami Ruchi. He tells that in the what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told that. Nami Ruchi, Jivedaya. So this some of the things which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. So same thing Sri Ramakrishna gives, that the idea of repeating the Lord's name. You completely be merged in that thought. And that you can do any time and every time. So that is no formalities or no need of any rituals or anything. That things what we get in even the Vedic religion and also what yogas have given to us, the method. So that simple method what Sri Ramakrishna has given, and this Matrubhav, Shuddhabhav, that Swami Vivekananda also he has told in his lectures, many lectures he has given, and one of the incidents also he tells that what India needs is first is the physically strong. That our body must be strong. So healthy body, healthy mind and healthy body like that. Then he tells another thing, that second point is the respect for women. He also, Swamiji also he tells that. That's why he brought Sister Nivedita. And he told her that first you love India. How he tells to her that you love India and then show them the ideal. So for that, if you love India, then only you will get able to get the strength and the power to work. And through her, he rejuvenates the womanhood. Swami Vivekananda also done that. And Sri Ramakrishna does it through Holy Mother. And Sri Ramakrishna, you can see his practice, spiritual practice, such sometimes he becomes Sita himself. While think of the Sita, Radha, Radha's bhav he gets. And he becomes Radha. How he could transform himself to Radha or Sita. And even simple practices like that, when he was completely merged with thought of Hanuman, he used to become Hanuman. And how this, because the mind is very pure. That pure mind is only possible by constantly repeating the name of God. Or if you are aware of the inner being. That's why Sri Ramakrishna gave the meaning of the Manhush. He tells a human, what is the difference between the animal and the human being? He tells that Manushya is called, Sri Ramakrishna gives the meaning of the Manushya, Man Hush. Man means the respect or the who is aware, who is conscious of his. Hush means the inner being or the awareness, the pure consciousness. That who has got the awareness of the pure consciousness, he is the Manushya. So if we are to be human beings, we must be having that consciousness of the Supreme which is within us. So that Sri Krishna tells in Hridesha Arjuna Tishtati and Yanoraniyan, Mahatomayan, all this in the Upanishads also we get. Everywhere the Atman is present and it is present in all the beings. So that we get in the Upanishads also. When that is the thing, then why can't we know it? Why can't we be aware of it? Why can't we be consciousness about it? So that method is simply consciousness is if you go on repeating, thinking of it. So that we get in the Upanishads also, that this Atman is separate and the body is separate. So Atman is everlasting, is always present, and it is Ananta, and it is Anadi. So it is beyond death and birth. So that is we get in the Upanishads also. All the saints have told. So those things Sri Ramakrishna he never talks much about it. You simply take up the Lord's name, go on repeating, surrender to Divine Mother, and you will be fully freed from all the troubles. So that method, if you simply take up, so that is possible for everybody. That when the discussion is there, Swami Vijay and first when the meeting also very wonderful discussion, when Swamiji tells that I have seen God. So in that also we get so many things where when the modern person can understand. So when he told that God exists, yes, I have seen, and you also can do it. So you also can see. So these things nobody gives the simple answer except Sri Ramakrishna. And this only opens the gate to the modern human being, how we can approach the pure consciousness which is within us. So simple method how it can be possible. So Swamiji tells that if it is possible for the Buddha or Christ or any great saint, if it is possible for a human being, why it is not possible for us? Swami Vivekananda tells later. Because this he learned from Sri Ramakrishna only. Sri Ramakrishna told him that yes, you also can achieve and you can do it. So that he puts in another way, that when great people can do it, why can't we do it? When a human being can do it, why we are also human beings? Why can't we do it? We have got all the powers. So that Sri Swamiji tells in a very different way. In language, the same thing he puts in another way so that the modern man can achieve it. So that Swamiji's greatness is that. And Swamiji, one place he tells, two things he tells. That if there is a God, we must be able to see him or experience him. So there is no point in simply telling about God. That how practical he is. So he tells that I don't believe in a religion which cannot give a loaf of bread to a hungry mouth and wipe the widow's tears. That is the Swamiji gives the idea that how the religion must be. So that religion only we want. And another thing Swamiji tells that the religion are the things what we hear from so many great people and we read so many things. But Swami Vivekananda tells that all right, what you read, what you hear, everything is already, but you must become. You think that Buddha was great, or Prophet Muhammad was great, or something person is very highly evolved. That we tell. So Swamiji tells that that's all right, but Buddha, everybody was great, no doubt. But what is it to you? What has brought to you? What is use of your simply telling that they were good, they were great, and they have done like that, and they have shown so many things. So that you go on talking this, talking he done not practical. He tells us you must become Buddha, you must become Christ or Muhammad or Shankara or Ramakrishna or so on. Then only it is useful. When you become yourself great, then only it is profitable. Then only it is worth. Otherwise simply telling that they were great and you simply keep quiet or simply lie down, simply sleep. So that will not do. That's Swami Vivekananda tells. You must become divine, you must become great, you must become God yourself. So then only there is a meaning in that. Simply telling others were great and they have done things and so many things have happened. So you go on telling the things, what is the past things, you can narrate thousands of items. But you, every moment, are you feeling the presence of God? You will think that God is present and protecting everywhere, and He is always present with us. So that simple idea we must be having in us. So that is possible simply what you see in the Upanishad, Avruttakshu Amritattva Michan. So if you are very desirous of knowing that, it is possible by just turning your attention towards the divine being. So that is possible for us. Only you have to turn your attention. So turn your thoughts. So that is, for that simple methods are your daily do japa, meditation, some teachings like that, reading. So this will support. And first thing is we must have that regular practice, daily, morning and evening. And we must resolve that we must have this practice and we must try to become God. So when that is decided, that is possible. Then he says the way of life, what we have got, Varnashram Dharma, way of life, it may be any type of life you may lead. But if you are fully conscious of the God, or if you think that the divine, being divine, becoming divine is only the purpose, then you can be any ashramas, you can be anywhere. You can be always lead the life of this purity. That's why Swami Vivekananda said that three things are necessary to a person become great, or he must become divine: purity, patience and perseverance. Swami said these three, wherever they are there, these three, so there will be no other power on the earth which can crush him down. Swami Vivekananda tells purity, patience and perseverance. So purity of your mind and purity that God or divine being is purity. Then patience is sahan. Sa. Thakur said, sa. Je soy, se roy. So that is Sri Ramakrishna's. So he told patience. Then is perseverance. Is we must pursue. Not simply we heard, we understood something, but don't pursue it. Always be at it. Then only you will be able to. Once Swamiji was in the Himalayan, an old man was going with him. Then that old man says, "Now I cannot walk. So much I walked. Now my legs are gone." Like that. Then Swamiji tells, "So you have walked so many. Just look back." Tells him, "Just look back. You walked so many miles. You have come. So these legs have come. Now so many legs you have to go. Why can't you stop here? Why you stop here? You just start walking. In a few moments, the earth which is ahead you will be under your feet." That's it. He tells to that old man. So like that, Swamiji's ideas where he gives the encouragement to go ahead. That perseverance. That is the go on pursuing. So there will be some hurdles while practicing. We might have got so many things are there, especially the Kama, Krodha, Lobha. These three always obstruct to us. These are hurdles. So hurdles come. But if you go on practicing sincerely, weep for God, what Sri Ramakrishna tells, by that only you will be able to come over those hurdles. You can pass through. So that is how the Sri Ramakrishna, these are the ideas where you can practice simple way that Sri Ramakrishna has given. So that we shall see again further.